New colors. Also, my white is seriously getting deleted. Also, my yellow is very muddy. I've got a special pot to clean my brushes. I got this pipette. I do not remember where it was originally for, but it's really useful for just picking up water and putting it somewhere. I've got this piece that is very, it's kind of a sponge. It's very useful. But first I'm going to use this one together with this one, because I want some whiteouts. I'm going to use this particular one, not a particular reason for the color, I just chose that one before and now I'm going to use it again. Put in some of these drawing gum or masking fluid, and this was the worst pencil that I had, so I'm now using it to draw on the thing. I also have dotting tools, but I realized last time that I really like just to use this. It's a little bit more precise than the dotting tool. So now this is blue, and this particular drawing gum is not my favorite. I think when this one is finished, when I have used it all up, I'm going to buy a different brand, because this particular brand that I have sometimes takes the paper with it, and I can't use it in layers, so it just picks up the layer under it. Together with picking up the paper, it's just not workable for this art that I want to do, so I need another one, another brand. But I'm also not someone who wants to just throw away stuff, especially things like this. It's very toxic stuff. I can't not just throw this in the garbage. So I'd rather just... Little hair, where did you come from? Oh, not good enough. I don't want to throw this in the garbage. Another hair. I have two cats, so it might come from them. They're not allowed in here, but those hairs go everywhere. Dip, 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 dip. Might have just overdid the amount that I just put in there, but that's okay. Wash it off there. You cannot completely wash it off, so this one is ruined. Like the background now. Let me wet the background. Let me make that a little bit easier for me, you know. Just wet that nice, and just have that imaginary frame there. Have a little bit of water on here. If I make those reds like a brown kind of yellow. And the background would be best the opposite, so more of a dark purplish color. I think I'm going to do that, but then I can work. I think I'm going dark blue and purple. I have this granulating color, which is a dusk purple. I'm going to do the first layer with that. I'm just going to get that in there. Not going too harsh, and I want to have a little bit of a variation. I can always darken later. You can have that little border here. So I only wetted the parts that I want to color in now. Display some of this water without getting more granulated around. A little bit of a swirl. So, and because I use the masking, it is actually not a problem that I go over all this. That little imaginary border here. Just need to be careful with those tail ends, because I want those tails to, you know, be visible. So I'm going to deepen the edges here. I want to have a little bit of a border. And that one there. This edge gonna be a bit darker too. Just work it in, just make it. There's a little granulating going on in here. There we go. So that's the background. I'm back. It's not completely dry, but most of it is. Just think that there is a little bit of a pool. I'm going to erase here. It's not a problem because it actually creates a nice effect. The rest is about dry. So we can continue still with the 12 brush because I can. Do I have the... yeah, there we go. So normally reds have a bit of a gray but actually yellow undercoat, which probably I'm going to use yellow ochre for this one. I'm gonna prepare this. Going to create a little bit more of that. So, got it what I call a tea-like consistency. I'm going to test it out here. It's a very light color. That's what I want, because we start light. As you can see, because it is a complementary color to that purple color, it is a lot more vibrant than you would expect. Let's just put a yellow under here, the other one as well. And there. Don't forget the other powder. There. There's a little bit of leakage, but that's okay. Gonna do the ear as well. Probably forgot that paw here. So, there are two ways to go at it. You can start with a base layer, then put some accents in there, then do shadows and highlights, or actually the highlights you leave out. But you can also start with doing the shadows, because that's more of a blue or dark brown color. You can also work with a dark purple if you want to have that as a as a shadow color. Now the background is already purple, so having purple in your shadow is a logical thing. Just don't do the granulating purple if you start with that purple. I think I'm going to use a combination of dark blue and purple just to get, so I'm putting ultramarine blue in here, which is already very dark, and then I put this dark purple in there, which was, I don't remember, I think Viridian? No, more like a violet kind of color. So we already have this. I'm going to dilute this a lot, otherwise it's going to be real strong shadow color. I want to work in layers. So if we get that one, we put it on here. As you can see, already a strong color in there. Maybe I dilute it just a little bit more. And I might use it as a shadow color in the gem in the middle as well. Yeah, that's a nice color combination. This, I'm not comfortable with this one anymore. It's too big for the shadows. So we're going to get a smaller brush. I've got a 10 here, which is almost the same. So I'm not doing that. I've also got a, I think this is an 8. It's already rubbed out. Probably an 8. So I'm going to work with the 8 now. And you have to be aware what you're doing, because the sun comes from here, right? The light source. Does it come from the front right or from the back right? So that's one thing you have to decide. One thing you can do is go behind that little armpit here, there, Also, there is a little bit of shadow under the chin. Probably there's a little shadow here. It comes from the right. There's a little bit of shadow probably inside here as well. I just realized I forgot that part of it. Let's put shadow in that crease here. And then there is a gem in the way, so let's put a little bit of shadow with the gem. And if you're very careful, you can do, because it's from up, you can do the bottom part of that tail. If you think it's too sharp, get a little bit of water and just dilute it out. Just draw it out. Before I forget, because there, get that little here, there. Tiny bit of just the bottom of their face. Here, the bottom of their paws. The same with this one, but the lights are just still from the same side, so we're going to there is light here. I also just realized that I forgot the ears. I keep forgetting to paint the ears. There we go. And I just realized that one is not an ear. That is a fluke. So we're trying to get rid of that by mixing the paint. Once it's dry, it's more difficult, but now it was wet, so we can still lift it off. There. Once that dried, and you want to have stronger, for example, you want more color in the creases, go with the same, go in, go into the crease, and just build up. And a lot of artists are like, you should put your whole brush in there, but if you just want to use the tip, you can only get the tip wet. There. Just going to put a little bit more blue in there. just to get those creases done. You can see a little bit of a difference when I work with this more blue color. Blue color a bit in here just to darken that. Have a little bit more blue here. There. I think that's fine. If I keep them yellow, I will be fine. Oh, I just realized I said I wanted to do the gem as well. So, the gem. I actually need a small brush for this, because this is a bit more precise. So we're going for a unknown, probably a 4 or 6. Anyway, doesn't matter. Actually, get more blue in there because I'm going to do with it. Do the gem. What color shall we do the gem? Not purple, because that will be a waste. But what we can do is we have those lines that we draw. Those are lines that need to be darkened. And later on, with a white pen, we're going to accentuate those lines by drawing with white next to it. So we have that shimmer going in there. Now we're going to accentuate those lines that we draw. We're going to darken them. A little more dark. More color there. Going to have another color, just cobalt blue. I'm going to add this because I'm not going to do more layers there, so can use this. Don't use more than 3 colors, otherwise it gets really muddy. If you want muddy, that's okay, but it can really affect your painting. I want this color. Then I'm going to add random spots because those are the spots that is like the back of those crystals. I don't really care where I put them. Just be like, most of them are straight. Darken some of them. purple. So while that's drying, you can take a look at like what's going on. So now you made the first layer. The crystal has a lot of white because you want that shimmer in there. You want multiple colors to shine through. So there's still a lot of white in there. The reds are yellow underlayer with shadows blue purplish. Then there's a white here, here, and here. And the background itself is a granulating kind of dusk purple. So what I want to do, if you want to be more realistic, you put those reds in brown or gray. Gray is a difficult color. Let's start with brown. Got multiple types of brown. So we have ochre, yellow ochre, which is brownish, yellow brownish. Then we have this brown, which is burnt sienna. And we have burnt umber. And the burnt umber is a nice dark and cool color. So be aware of that. So this is a cool color. This yellow is a warm color. So be aware. You rather want to mix warm with warm colors, right? But how do you get that darker? If you want to have a dark color, you mix it with another warm dark color if you have warm. This is now is very orange. So I have here Payne's Gray, which is a neutral color. We put a little bit of Payne's Gray in there. To keep the color a warm brown, a little bit more in there. Just a tap. Payne's Gray. Payne's Gray is a very dominating color, so be aware of that. Yeah, let's start with this layer. So we have this layer. I think this is the right color that I want. Okay. In order for fur, I rather work in splotches. So we go just splotch, 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 splotch. Don't forget to take the parts with you that you already have darkened because of the, you know. Otherwise you have very weird colored paws. The paws and the tails are different color from the fur. Alright? You can use I can use a bigger brush, I think. Splashes. But I was a bit afraid that I couldn't splotch, 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 because fur is not uniformly colored. So I don't do the tail because the tail is more of a skin color with reds. So you can I saw that the ears were less skin colored. Still skin colored, but you can swatch those a bit more. There. You can get a dash of faint gray in there. Dash. To get more dark colors. More faint gray. Just keep it with those two. To color that. Yeah, that's a nice dark color. And keep in mind how fur behaves. So yes, you can splotch, but if you are beware, you can splotch in a certain direction. So it will go like this. So my splotches are now being directed. Let me see. This upside down mouse is a bit difficult because you need to be aware that it's upside down. It's not too bad. Just have a smidge of color down there. The more detail you want, the smaller the brush. Also be aware that you need to layer dry on wet on dry. Right now it's a bit wet, so it doesn't form little hairs that you want yet. Put more color in here. I also want a little bit of purple. Dampen that. I should have gone for red, I guess, but is a good color. Let me take a sip so it can dry a little bit. I'm actually putting a little bit more color in between the parts that are supposed to be darker. I'm not letting it dry too much right now. It'd be better if I let it dry. darker color is also ideal to put a bit more shadow in, to darken the shadows that you already had, but now instead of purple you're using like the brown color. I want the back to be darker as well. For skin tone, I already have this color, right? So I'm gonna put a little bit of red in there. Just a little bit. And to deepen it, I'm going to get a little bit of blue. Just a little tiny bit. Just maybe a lick. That blush. Of course, you already have a yellow underpaint. You can work with a little bit more red and blue in there just to get that bit of flesh tone. Balls can be a bit more flesh tone. So I made them already quite dark. I think I'm going to use like a smidge of pink also to get rid of the hair, to darken that tone bit. And because it's so red, I'm going to layer it like this, just to add a bit more texture. Stitch more there, mix that well. We're gonna cover everything. I'm just going to put some highlights in there. There. While that's drying, I'm going to add a little bit more pigment in here. Maybe I'm not patient enough, that's for sure. Also, oh yeah, almost forgot that the noses are usually this color. There. Since we still have to wait, I think I'm going for blue. with the crystal. So we're going really pigmented. I'm going to add gonna layer, and right now I'm just putting in blue where there was white. Not everything has to be filled up. Okay, and now I need to have a bit more control, so I'm going to dilute it. I have a little bit of another color in there, which is okay. Also, I'm not going to fill everything with the blue because I like that some parts are white. That means that there is extra shine. Just fill in big parts. Like that. And now we get that ultramarine in. No, this is cobalt. Sorry. Cobalt, yeah, a strong cobalt color. And mix it in. The thing with gems is that they are so diverse and they can have so many different colors. Just experiment with it. Just be aware that if you leave a lot of white, it looks like it shimmers more. You can just dab, make shapes wherever you want. Get some ultramarine in there, just to darken there. Like there are dark parts. There. Okay. This needs to dry. So we're going to focus our attention to something else, which is this part. One of the things that I love to do is work with metallic, which means it needs a certain background color. If you want silver, which I think is the most appropriate color, black is, or Payne's gray is a great color to just fill this all in. So I'm going to go very dark Payne's gray, and I'm going to use a small brush because I want to have a lot of details in there. I'm going to paint this black. Or Payne's gray. Payne's gray is almost black. It's very dark. Good. I need to use more water, that's for sure. Let's fill this one up. There we go. Let's mix this up and get there. I'm not able yet to do an entire circle like this. Would be nice. There. That is very expressive already if I look in the video. Then we also put the outer layer in this paint gray. So we're going to, I think I need a bigger brush. Yeah, I need a bigger brush. I like the, let's do the 10 here. Yeah, it's way better. Okay, so let's do these outlines. I'm all doing this in silver, so that's why everything now is going to be paint gray. Now we do this one. This thing. Yeah. I sometimes forget that I need to do the other side as well. As you can see, it is a little bit wider than I sketched it. If you're wondering how I do this, I apply a certain pressure with the brush. So the harder you press, the more of the brush will be on the paper, and the softer you press, the less. So if you press very softly, you only have like the tip. If you push harder, there's more of the brush on the paper, so that will be a thicker stroke. So if you start very lightly, like here, and then apply more pressure slowly. Oh, it doesn't want to work with me right now. But slowly build up the pressure until you have reached the width that you want. Another method to create a wider stroke is to angle your brush. Also, angle and pressure. And if you've never done this before, this takes a little bit of practice. So practice like how much pressure you put on your brush. And I don't want to boast, but I was in Japan in 2018 and there was this we went with the group to some area where they were like doing brushwork, and you could do something as well, and a lot of people were struggling with putting the ink on paper, and I was there and I just immediately went like because I had so many hours like making watercolors, making art, and I don't know if it's just politeness because Japanese culture is extremely different from Dutch culture, but they seemed really impressed by what I made, so that was really cute. That was really nice. So, the inside of these circles. Wonder what color I want to put in there, because we have purple, we have yellow / brownish, we have blue. So let me see on the color wheel, right? Yeah, so we have this one. So we have if we take like let's take violet, because that's the main color we have in our, or blue violet. That's the main color we have in the background, right? So the complementary color is yellow orange. If we put it in a split complementary, you got orange and yellow. Ooh. If you go tertiary here, you are able to use red, orange, and green, yellow, green. And tertiary would be completely different, because then you would have it like this. So, and blue violet here. Tertiary would be yellow green, then you would have yellow orange and red violet, but we don't want that. This one. This is just if you add, yeah. We want this one, so the key color, right? So if we go to the tertiary, we can go with green and red orange. Although I don't want to add the red orange with the green, because that's too Christmassy. I don't want that. So we can put greenish colors in here and have the more yellow orange, or what I call as a yellow, as an accent in there. And it is very warm color though, and I want to use silver. So we need to have the more lemon, and oh, I have an aqua green. Let's put the aqua green there. So we keep it cooler colors, while the reds themselves are the warmer colors. Put it there. turquoise green. That's what the color was. Turquoise green. Okay. So I want the 10. Yeah. So we're going to use this specific color. I'm going to swatch it for you guys so you can see what it's like. Another. Yeah. So it is very nice. It's a turquoise green, almost bluish color. I'm also gonna drop that in here, by the way. It's a nice color. Oops. Get that harmony in there. That's a nice color. I'm going to dilute it a bit, or put a little bit more intensity at least. There. Going to get the outside. That really pops. Not bright blue, so it's not too shocking, but it is a nice color there. Aquamarine, turquoise green. And I'm discussing with myself if I want this one the same color. I think so, because otherwise it will be a bit too much. Got too much, so I better drop it in the crystal. There. We let that dry, and now we should have an almost dry red. So we can, yeah, we can put that one there. There we go. Get that illusion of texture. Just be very loose with it. Like I said, this is an illusion, so the way it is layered means that you can see the idea. I'm not going to go like picture perfect for this. I've seen artists using their own hairs or in the hair of a cat to get those hairs on the painting. I'm like, no, not for me, thank you. It's a bit too much detail for me. The idea of hairs is nice. Especially here. Up. And on the back, give me some more here. I don't know how much you can see of this. Also, there's some blue leaking into the tail. It's a shame, but actually it looks very cool. Then we have our lemony yellow that I still wanted to use. A very nice contrast with the blue-green. There's a little bit of spillage there. You know what? I'm going to paint this yellow as well. And this as well. I'm going to put a little more paint gray in here, which is a lot more than I expected because I reread the painted gray. That's a shame. I think I'm going to stop painting the rats. Only thing that I need to do before I forget is get the eyes of the rats. Here. Now they can see, that's nice. I don't know where this is from. Oh yeah, no. Okay. I actually made much. I'm going to think I'm going to keep the rest like this, and what I'm going to do is very strong paper. Oh, and I really get that. Okay, so going to let this dry, at least the reds. There, need to get that one out as well. There we go. Going to get my metallics here. I'm going. Wow, what time is it actually? It's getting really late. Getting my silver. My 10 here. Getting that in there. Because I wanted my silver, remember? I'm going to get the silver. This is already dry, so we can paint over this. Very nicely. Not very easy to show on the camera, I see. Maybe because it doesn't catch the light. It's very bright, the way I see it. This is easier to see. Let me get a bit more water. I need another layer. Sometimes you just need more layers. I also have this color, which is a bit darker. So, let's put this one with a little bit of the darker one in there. a little bit more pigment in there. Okay. It's getting really late for me right now. So